Good morning, T-Wolves. Mr. Quinton here with what we did for Monday, May 10th, 2021. That's right, folks. Third to last Monday of the year. So we've been talking about economic indicators as of late because we're doing this whole economics thing, right? So as we learned last week, economic indicators are basically the idea that they give us they want to give us an idea rather of how a country performs economically. Is this country rich? Is this country poor? How do we determine whether a country is developed or developing? And so we can use those indicators against world trade because clearly nations want to always be improving their economic status. They want those economic indicators to look good. And one way they do that is through world trade. And so we're going to take a look at why nations trade. And of course, we're pretending we're first period, head on into quarter four, head on over to week of May 10th, and then jump into Monday, where you will see our daily work assignment. So folks, it is daily work. You know that it's not for points, but before I go any further, you do have a project coming up. And folks, the information that you are going to be able to glean from this assignment could be worth between 30 and 40 points on your project. So please do not dismiss things that are daily work just because you don't, quote, have to turn them in for points, end quote. So, and how would this count for 30 points, 30 to 40 points on your project? Well, let me show you. So let's jump in here. It says follow the instructions to complete the digital notebook for the daily work assignment. We'll just go ahead and show you mine. The idea here, folks, is that you are going to watch the video on slide 3, and then you're going to answer those questions that go with the video with at least one complete and complex sentence. You are then going to read about trade on slides 4 and 5. You will answer the discussion questions on slide 6, and you need to answer all those questions with at least 2 complete and complex sentences. Folks, that's at least, which means that's the minimum. You are free to write more if you feel like it. Finally, we have a practice activity on slide 7, and you'll want to use at least 1 complete and complex sentence for each reason you choose. We'll show you that when we get there. If you are a pre-AP GT class, then you obviously have this extension, which is to provide at least 3 things that you think might happen if nations did not trade and why, using at least 3 complete and complex sentences. So you'll see what's going on there. So as you can see here, we would be watching this video. This video is a little over 4 minutes long, so it shouldn't take you very long to get through it. And then we have the 2 questions that you need to answer. And folks, fair trade is a big deal. So please make sure that you pay attention to the part on fair trade. All right. Then we, of course, want to look at the big ideas of trade. And then there is a picture here that you can click that will then take you to an article. Now, this article shows that it's 3 pages, but in actuality, it's 2. It looks like the 3rd page, for whatever reason, accidentally is a reprint of the 2nd page. So just read carefully there as you get towards the end of the 2nd page to make sure you don't drift too far and reread something you don't have to. Once you've read that article, or perhaps while you're reading the article, because you can obviously have that article in a different tab, you'll be answering these questions. And again, folks, you're going to want to answer the questions with at least 2 complete and complex sentences. You can see what I have done here. And as always, you can use these as an example and as a guide, but please don't copy me, okay? The one thing I will say that you could copy would be right here. What are some examples of things nations trade? You can see that I actually mentioned directly machinery, oils, plastics, and electronics were examples from the article. So you can use those specific examples. That would be fine. And then let's take a look at our practice. So what you're going to do is find an example of trade that is done throughout the world. And I chose diamonds. You can choose anything you like. You could, if you don't have an idea in your head, you could certainly Google, resources that are traded around the world, something like that. And then, of course, go grab yourself an image and insert it. This is a picture of a diamond mine. And then I found 1, 2, 3 reasons using complete and complex sentences for why this trade happens. And folks, this is where you will stop if you are not a pre-AP GT class. If you are a pre-AP GT class, then you will do the extension. So again, you're going to look at this and find out and ask yourself, what would happen if nations did not trade? Think about it. Think about three different things that would happen, and you can see here that this is a complete and complex sentence, complete and complex sentence, complete and complex sentence, and then you're going to answer why. Complete and complex sentence, complete and complex sentence, complete and complex sentence. So each section has three complete and complex sentences in it. All right, so there's a total of six. And folks, that is it. So this is the work that you need to have gotten done for Monday. If you have any questions, please let me know. Oh, right. What about that whole project thing, Mr. Quinton? Yes, let me throw that in there right quick. Folks, if you can explain how your service, how your product that you're creating for your project might be worth trading with another country, say, I don't know, India or Peru or China, then you are obviously explaining things like the resources that you're using. That would be land. You are answering questions like who will consume the product. You are answering the idea of entrepreneurship. That's just three of those seven things that you need to be hitting, right? The three economic questions and the four factors of production. So by demonstrating that you're incorporating things like world trade into your presentation, then you are clearly getting easily 30 to 40 points just from this particular assignment. So again, please don't blow this stuff off. All right. So as always, send me that note in Schoology. Send me that email if you need anything. And I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Mr. Quinton, out.